Today, you'll be making a zine. A zine is an art book, a small booklet with a story inside. The story could have any genre you'd like. Any kind of story works very well in this format, but the best thing you want to think about is having these important supplies. You'll need a piece of paper. A normal sheet of printer paper will do great. A pair of scissors, glue, either liquid glue or a glue stick, a pencil with an eraser, and some sort of coloring options. Maybe some crayons, colored pencils, markers, something to add a touch of color to your story. So pause this video, go gather those supplies, and come right back and let's make a zine. First, you'll need to find a piece of paper. I'm using a piece of printer paper and I'm folding the horizontal way, the hot dog way. I'm making sure I'm creasing each time firmly. You'll fold again to also make a second crease. And from that fold, you'll be making it even smaller with one final fold to create this zine. Remember, push down to create strong creases. So on each fold, you'll be pressing down firmly. Then you'll open up the whole piece of paper. I'm folding the horizontal way once and pressing down again firmly before I make my line that I'll follow with a pair of scissors to cut along that line. Notice where I'm putting that line. I'm making sure it's in that spot, and you should too before you get some scissors to cut along that line. It's just a little cut, and you're cutting through the folded part, so not the open side, the folded side. Then you want to open the paper again and fold in the parts like I'm doing here, so it creates a booklet. From there, you'll press down and fold and press to create the pages. Once you have a booklet, you're going to find some glue. And I have opened the page to reveal the inner section. In this case, I used a printed piece of paper, so I wanted to hide that. So I'm making sure that I'm putting the dots of glue on the inside of each page with little dots. So it's slightly opened up to reveal the inner area where the dots will go. So this part should be done very carefully. You want to gently press down and line up those pages and massage your paper to make sure that those glue dots disappear. And from here, we're going to create that origami booklet. Again, it might take a few flips and turns, but you want to make sure that the pages are aligned and that they're able to be turned one by one, so you have 4 pages inside of your booklet. And see here how there's still that open spot, the flapping of those 2 pages. I'm going to fold it again and get the glue bottle to add a few more additional dots to secure those 2 pages so it doesn't cause any trouble when anyone is viewing this booklet. And the last step in this part of the process is to put a weighted object over top of the book so it can dry completely. Make sure that it's something that won't stick to the glue. So in this case, I used my pencil and pen container from my art station. So there are a number of ways that you could go about creating your zine story. But if you took part in the video where I shared how to draw a 4-panel comic or a storyboard, and it was called Story Time in the video series that I've made. You could choose to use that idea for this zine that you're working on right now. And to inspire you a little bit more, I'd like to share with you some of my zines that I've made so you can get some extra ideas. So this zine represents that story that I worked on a few days ago about Fluffy the turtle. So this one is telling that story. And I kept it cohesive with the same background color throughout that one. This one is about quarantine, and I call it the Quarantine Zine. It shares the stories of the things that I've done over that time, and I incorporated lots of collage in this one. So you can also use collage materials to build your zine. This story is about an Amazon delivery that surprisingly appeared on the porch, and something was inside that wasn't expected. So a little bit of a mystery. And this one is all about my favorite food, and I cut out some words to tell that story through the newspaper. I found a recipe, and I made a little poem about my love for eggs and all that I can do with them. This one is called Better Days Will Come, and it's a poetic look at the things that we're missing right now, and I chose not to incorporate words in this one, and that's up to you. And I used some magazines and collage. This zine represents another one of my favorite foods, the sandwich, and all the memories I can think of eating sandwiches, whether it's a grilled cheese with an ice water or making my very first grilled cheese on the stove, melting that butter and hearing the sizzles, or a traditional school lunch PB&J. And newspapers are great to overlap if you're looking for another texture. This one is another fantasy booklet, and it represents a story of an alien landing to find another form of life that's already on that planet. It was a different kind of alien, and he was mining on that planet. And this zine is my favorite one, and it's a poem about social distancing. And I used another set of magazine and newspaper clippings, and it leaves you with a hopeful feeling that there will be something after all of this. So those were my little collection of zines, and I look forward to seeing the power of the story that you create in the work that you're making. So have fun, be creative, and I will really enjoy reading some of yours or seeing the process over this time. So have fun.